Welcome back to All Things ETH. My name is Aaron, and on this channel we talk about all things Ethereum. We talk about projects, NFTs, L2s, DeFi, and price. And today, guys, I want to jump into all the things that are launching on Arbitrum this week, today, and coming up. And so let's jump right on into it. I want to talk about, in particular, GND Launch. GND is the sister project, if you will, to the GMD protocol. And if you're not familiar, GMD was created by Saul Goodman, a well-known dev in the DeFi space. GMD creates a lot of their products on the GLP that comes out of GMX, the LP token out of GMX, and this is one of the projects that is built on top of it. So GND has built on top of GMD. It's just this like cool stacking effect that's going on. There's liquidity providing that you can do with inside of GND. GND, the token itself, gives all protocol fees to the holders. So a bunch of the fees goes to the locked GND tokens. So there's going to be buybacks and burns from the team, and the price of this has actually skyrocketed already. Priority sale was a couple days ago before the launch. I got in on that because I held some GND, had it staked, GMD rather, on the launch pad on GMD is where it started. Let me show you that. So inside of GMD you have vaults, which are all the GMX vaults and the buffer vaults. So any buffer LP, or you can provide liquidity to GMX vaults here, single-sided and pseudo delta neutral, which is amazing. So if you haven't heard me talk about delta neutral before, it means that the price of the token itself does not get affected as much as it would otherwise. Like GLP gets affected by the price of the traders. So if there's big profit inside of GMX, the GLP holders take on some of that loss. Well, in GMD, the vaults are delta neutral. The team pools some of the protocol fees to offset the price decline possible from the trades that go on in GMX. So the APRs might be a little lower than you would find on GLP. Like right now, I think GLP is trading or giving 23% back, and in GMD you're going to see 17%, but that's because the underlying is delta neutral. So USDC inside of GMD. Gosh, this is super technical, guys. I'm sorry. I'm gonna dive right in because I'm gonna geek out on this stuff today. If you provide USDC to GMD's GLP vault, GMX vault, you stake that, you're going to get GMD USDC in your wallet. Well, you can take that, you can bring it over to Solid Lizard or Sterling. I believe Sterling, both of those are dexes on Arbitrum. You can provide your GMD USDC, which is the vault token from that GMX vault inside of GMD, and you can actually you can trade it in for a new stablecoin built by GMD, GMUSD. So GMUSD is the stable token that's actually going to accrue value between 15 and 25% based on the vault performance from the GLP vaults inside of GMD, right? So it's a stable coin that's going to accrue value with time. So it's not going to be deflationary like the dollar is. It's going to accrue value, and so hopefully surpass inflation, rising 15 to 25% APR. So pretty awesome. Again, Saul Goodman built this product with some other people on his team. Shout out to the team. And then GMUSD is a product inside of GND, the product that just launched today, the protocol that just launched this week. Sorry. So GND Launch, information on GMD Launchpad. There's a Launchpad on GMD that launched this. Priority sale was at $70. And guess where the price is today, guys? So let's go to Dex Screener real quick. Dex Screener, Arbitrum, and I'm not sure what coin's going to pop up. It's probably just going to be the last one that I looked at, which is GMD. GMD is priced at $80 right now. Not bad. It's gone as high as 100, coming back down now. I think a lot of stakers that put in staking into GMD are probably selling off to take some of the profits that they made. A lot of people bought it down here at 70, probably selling it around 80, 90 just to take profit after they've bought their GND. Well, let's get into GND. GND. Okay, this first token, guys, is a scam token. Don't touch this one. Sushi Swap, $32,000 or $3,200 is not the price of the token. However, 161 is currently. And again, I got in on the priority sale at $70, guys. So I'm already up over 2x on this token, and it launched pretty much out of the gate. Been some obvious fluctuations. We had a little bit of downturn yesterday with the market, but it's back up, and we're firing on all cylinders over here at GND. And the protocol itself is a liquidity providing, APR providing money printer, essentially, right? Not a printer in the fact that it's inflationary, but a printer in the fact that you are getting some serious value from the token and staking that token. So we can go to the dashboard and we can check out some of the stats here. The GMUSD price, how much is locked, and then the GND price and how much is locked there. The staking, and this is where I get into XGND. XGND is the staked version of GND. You can stake some. I've got some staked. You can see how much I've got staked. I wasn't able to buy a bunch. I actually didn't realize at the priority sale that you couldn't buy more than once. I bought early on just to see how quickly things would sell out. And an hour later, I went to go buy more, and I couldn't because it was a first come serve, but only one transaction option on the priority sale, and I would have bought double what I initially bought, but it is what it is. Now the staking fee is high in comparison to others, 2% deposit fee. And it burns XGND when you deposit. So anytime you deposit, you're actually burning some of that token, but it is 2% fee to get into this. Now, base APR is 87%, and I've already been able to boost up to 112% because I got in early and I'm starting to get these RP points. The RP points accrue with time, and then you claim and compound your RP to boost your APRs. So the longer that you're in this, the more RP you're going to get, and the better chance you're going to have to keep that high, steady APR. So beyond the staking of the coin itself, let's go to Vest quick. I want to show you how to lock GND if you did want to get into the vesting and the APRs of the staking. You go to this lock GND to XGND tab, you put in your coins and you lock them. Now, unlocking them is complicated and does take some time. So you have to, if you did change your GND into XGND and then you staked, you would have to unstake, but then you'd go back to vesting, and then you can choose one of the two options here. If the prices increase so much that you want to sell quickly, you can vest for 20 days. Now you only get back 50% of what you vest in this regard. So if you vest XGND for 20 days, you can pull it out of XGND into GND and sell GND. However, you're only to get 0.5 tokens for every one that you have in XGND. So it's more of a quicker liquidity situation where the price has skyrocketed maybe, and you want to just get out of your token. Well, it's going to burn half of your GND stake, and it's going to give you half of it, but it only takes 20 days to vest it. Now, if you want to vest the entire thing, and now this is where if you get into this vesting XGND, the reason why the price of the token is going up, in my opinion, is because all of these fail safes to pump and dump schemes. So if you want to get your full stake out of GND 1-to-1, you do have to vest for 200 days. Now you do make some vesting rewards while you're vesting. So if you go back to the staking tab, if you look down here, it says users vesting RP. You do get some base APR and the vesting RP that you can claim and compound while you are vesting. So it's not It's not that you're not staking anymore. You do lose your RP from staking, unfortunately, when you unstake. But if you go over to vest, you can start the process over with vesting, and hopefully after 200 days you've earned plenty of RP to make it worthwhile, and then you have your GND sellable at will. So moving on to liquidity. This is a liquidity providing program, a protocol. You want to add liquidity, you can choose your pair. We have all these different Arbitrum native pairs, right? So GDI, GMX, GND WETH to GND. We have Gains Network. We've got USDT to USDC. The actual APR on this is pretty high, which is nice right now. Wrapped Bitcoin is awesome. Vela, another Arbitrum native. Magic, another Arbitrum native. Buffer, Pendle, Arbitrum native. Radiant, Arbitrum native. So this is really for the Arbitrum native coins, guys, and they partnered with all the top protocols on Arbitrum. Again, Saul's got a great reputation inside of the space, and he's going to find the best on partnerships. So, and then on the farm side, we have these APRs, and I want to show these off because they're pretty great right now. And I think they might actually go up because you're actually making, I believe some of the APR is actually in GND, yeah. So 40% APR, this is an 80% APR on the GMD WETH pair. That's a great APR, guys. And 40% of it comes in GND and 40% comes in XGND. Because all of these pools are actually run inside of Uniswap v3, there are some fees that are generated here. They go into to GND, and then you get the GND rewards. So, and then you can harvest those rewards and connect your wallet and get into those vesting options. I will be getting into some of these shortly. I've been actually modding the community over at Discord. I was honored to be chosen to be a mod for this launch, and shout out to the team over there. E has been crushing it, and AVC, you're crushing it. Thank you so much. And of course, all the devs, and so Crimson and Betsy and Saul, of course, all crushing it over there, and just proud and honored to be a part of what's going on with the team. So jump into these pools, guys. Get some sweet APRs. Pendle WETH right now, 319% paid in GND. Radiant, oh, these APRs are sweet right now. So 300% on WETH GND. Some killer APRs here, guys. In fact, this GMUSD to GMD USD vaults. This is where you get if you put some cash into the the USDC vault on GMD, you get that receipt token, and then if you buy some GMUSD on Ramses or Sliz or Sterling, you can place it in here and get 74%. That's actually higher than what it is on like other VE33s right now. So Ramses is paying out on a similar pair, and it's actually USDC rather than GMUSDC to GMD, and you're getting a lower APR over there. So this is, if you wanted to switch, it'd be a good time to do it. I'm not sure how long these will last. The price of the token could go up, and they could rise higher because GND is relatively deflationary, guys. There's only 100,000 tokens available. There's a fraction of that out in the wild right now, and the team is burning tokens based on their rewards that they get from the V3 Uniswap pools that these are based on. So it is concentrated liquidity. So less liquidity is more efficient in that V3 manner, and the team has been able to take Uniswap V3 and import it into their own protocol. And so these will be more efficient and have slightly less impermanent loss as well due to that fact. So they'll be the whole back end of GND is actually managing these pools and arbing the GMUSD to USDC pools as well. And so all those protocol fees go to these token holders and specifically the XGND stakers. All right, so that was a mouthful, but I wanted to talk about all the cool things that are going on with this protocol because it is so dense. There's a lot of information. The docs are super helpful to try to wrap your head around all this, guys. If I didn't explain it well to you, check out the docs. Join us in the Discord. I'll be moderating for the next couple weeks at least, and I hope to see you around there. Well, let's get on to the further wars of what's going on inside of Arbitrum. So before I forget, the launch of the newest liquidity provider is coming out today. The other Medium article I had pulled up here for Cronos. Cronos Phi is the newest VE33 liquidity providing protocol. It's a solidly fork on Arbitrum as well. It's similar to Ramses, similar to Sliz, similar to Sterling. Another solidly fork. More bribes, more rewards for VECHR holders. I don't know if I talked about it, but I did buy some of the NFTs. So they've taken the Beethoven X model of having the reliquary model and having some NFTs built into the fee gainers on this system. So so the NFT holders will be getting, I believe it's like 20 or 30% of the rewards that come in through the protocol for the first 6 months, guys. So I jumped on that, aped into that, bought 3 of the CHR NFTs for this project, and going to be making some sweet ETH gains there, hopefully, as long as this application does take off. Launch time is 1800 US UST, 10 o'clock my time, that's central. That's about 45 minutes from now. So by the time this video is up and on YouTube, this should be up and running. So if you took part in their airdrop, they did a really awesome airdrop kind of lottery system. Not lottery necessarily, more of a they did a really cool airdrop for this protocol. All of their partners made some sort of contest available for those airdrops. So Granary had an airdrop. Let's see, there was so many that I'm trying to remember now. I think YFX had an airdrop. We had an airdrop over at, let me open up my my DBank, because I have a couple of things that they aped into in order to get this airdrop. So so Granary, Mux had an airdrop for the CHR token. Dyson was the other one on Polygon. That was a cool one that I hadn't heard of that I aped into in order to get some CHR tokens. There's just a plethora of them. I think Taro had one. A couple NFT projects had them. I think the Arbitrum, or the Arbitrum, the GMX Blueberries NFTs, I believe, were part of the airdrop as well. So all of these, Web3 DeFi native protocols had the CHR airdrop contests, and depending on how much you invested in their different projects, you would get more. I had to lend to Granary in order to get the airdrop. I was already lending in Granary, so I got the airdrop automatically, which was pretty cool, and didn't take a lot of effort from my part because I was already doing it, and getting the airdrop, and going to be vesting those CHR tokens in order to be voting on liquidity pools, providing liquidity, etc., etc. Making fees for my NFTs is what the name of the game is for me and for that protocol. So that's how you make money from these things: the APRs in the liquidity providing, and the protocol fees gained on the NFTs. So moving on, here is all the DeFi wars going on all the ERC20, EVM chain, different solidly forks, and any liquidity providers in general that have some sort of voting mechanism. So if you have some sort of VE token, Velo's probably one of the highest in the L2 space. Curve was the first. Curve brought their CRV tokens, and then Convex had the CVX tokens on top of that. And this is DeFiWars.xyz. This is tracking all of the different voter locked systems that have some sort of bribing, and they also show you who the #1 holder of the governance token or the VE tokens is. And so this is really fun to look at, in my opinion. Sort of nerdy, but I think it's super cool to see who's dominating in the space. So Curve, obviously on Ethereum, has been around the longest and really started the game. I mean, solidly was a outcome of this. The VE33 was a solidly, thank you Andre Cronje for getting that started and helping us to not be as diluted with that 3-3 nature. If you don't know what that is, do a little bit more research, dive into that. I won't get into the nitty gritty on that because it is nerdy stuff, but super awesome. So all of these products, all these protocols have some sort of VE token, and they show which protocol is the largest holder. The things that I really want to talk about are the Arbitrum native ones. So Camelot is crushing it on Arbitrum, and Camelot's not a VE33. It's not. Neither is Curve, so it's not quite the same. But they are. It's actually rather similar to GND, and that's what I want to talk about it. Camelot has their Grail tokens and then their X Grail tokens. So it's very similar to the GND and the XGND, and the X Grail holders are the overall the reward token holders of they get the highest APRs, they get the protocol fees, and that's what makes these sorts of coins so valuable. Grail in particular did a massive run and has gone from, I believe, let's actually get onto Dex Screener and look at this. So here's my GND price, right? I'm going to go to Grail for the Camelot Dex, and Grail has gone up to $2,000 per coin, and I believe it started around 200. So that is a massive growth trajectory. I mean, it went up as high as 3,000. Oh my goodness, guys, it hit like $4,000 at one point. In fact, it went over $4,000, $4,500 per coin. And this is another protocol that's just like GND, has just 100,000 tokens. So this is like the possibilities here of what could happen to GND, right? So if GND takes off as much as Grail did or Camelot did, and we could see some growth. So the token came out, hovered around $200 for a really long time, and then all of a sudden went straight to the moon, $3,000, consolidated a little bit up to 4,500, and is currently consolidating again, and we'll have to wait and see what happens to the market. But gosh, it's crushing it. And their TVL, their total value locked, is the highest that I've seen yet in this space on Arbitrum. So $40 million in total value locked on Camelot. The next biggest on Arbitrum is actually Trader Joe with 16,000 or 16 million. Perpetual is not on Arbitrum, that's on OP. So next up on Arbitrum is actually Ramses. So out of the top three on Arbitrum right now, Camelot, Trader Joe, and Ramses. And I'm a big fan of Ramses, to be honest. I love the team. My biggest love of the Ramses ecosystem is actually the Ennead, who actually owns the largest amount of the token. So the way Ennead works is really for the retail guys to kind of team up. So Ennead takes all of your locked tokens from Ramses and pools it into one huge NFT or VE NFT to be able to vote in, and their APRs have been insane. Let me just show you real quick. This is a little sneak peek into what it looks like to be a staker of the Need Ram, or the big NFT that Ennead has created. So right now I'm making 127% in ETH rewards on my investment, and 339 on RAM rewards. And this changes on a daily basis. It usually starts a little high at the beginning of the epoch, which switches over. We just started the epoch, so this is a little high. 467% though. So I'm providing liquidity in 3 different pools right now. I've got some, there's three different pools that I'm actively in right now: GrainWeth, YFX, USDC, and YFX GM USDC or USD. And each of them are making me some gains on the daily. And this is not updating, but I know it is. So I've made $33 in rewards based on my investment, and and this is just, yeah, this does take into account staking and pooling. So total, I've got $33 in rewards, and that's just in the last like 12 hours. So not a huge investment, guys. I'm not like some whale or anything out there. You've seen my DBank if you've watched this channel before, but considerable amount of daily gains. I recycle this every day. I revest my RAM into need RAM, and then I take out that ETH rewards. And again, I've said this on this channel many times, that my goal is to stack as much ETH as possible. So what I like to do is take the gains from these need RAM and voting rewards and these sorts of things and stake ETH with it, or buy more ETH with it. So that's what I'm doing. Anyway, let's get back to what I was talking about here. I think this is the right one. Yes, the token wars. Let's get back to this. So I went through Camelot, Trader Joe being second. I'm not really into Trader Joe. I found that the APRs weren't as high as they are in Ramses. Now Ramses pays out in the RAM token, and if you're in AnyAd, you get the AnyAd token. The token price is not deflationary, is rather inflationary, so you do want to be careful there. But overall, the ETH rewards is where it's at, and then the need RAM APRs is what keeps you growing your account over there. And so as long as you're growing faster than others, you're staying above water. Other things on Arbitrum, I don't think there's anything else on this list. Oh yeah, Solid Lizard or Sliz as I call it, and Sterling are the other 2 VE33s on Arbitrum. They, as you can see at the bottom of the list here, so they aren't keeping up. Sterling in particular has lost some steam lately. Solid Lizard has not been keeping up, and so Ramses right now is the top as far as VE33s go. Camelot and Trader Joe are crushing it. I can't wait to see what GND does on this list, guys. GND, I believe their total value locked. Let's go see if that actually shows up. TVL is 8 million. So that actually, if that is correct, that actually puts it higher than Ramses right out of the gate. I don't know if that's correct. I'll have to double check. The protocol did just come out, so I don't know for sure if that is right, but let's see, liquidity, 2 million just in the USDT, USDC, they have another million there. That could be right, guys, and if that's right, this has already surpassed the Ramses token as far as liquidity goes. Now, I will mention that some of that liquidity is actually caught up in the pools here at so total TVL. Pool TVL at AnyAd is actually double that. Wow, this is insane. So 16 million in TVL on AnyAd. That would have been on Ramses if the AnyAd. Wow. All right, that puts it in perspective. So actually, if we add 16 million to the 8 million that's already on this, yeah, 7.5 million plus the 14. That actually puts it in second place, really behind Camelot, and so we're much closer to Trader Joe than I thought. In fact, they exceed Trader Joe if you add all the AnyAd TVL locked in there. So that's pretty cool. Wasn't aware of that. I don't know if that's the same thing though with whatever this symbol. What's this symbol here? This is Vector Finance. So yeah, I don't know if TVL is included there. I don't know if it's so, the way this works, guys. So it's kind of like the Velodrome Beefy system. So if you put your you can create your LP inside of Velodrome and then actually drop your liquidity tokens into Beefy, and it calculates the TVL on Beefy rather than Velo. or Velo. So I'm not sure exactly how this works, and I don't think Trader Joe has that relationship with Vector Finance, so I do think their TVL is closer to 16. Now we can go to DeFi Llama and double check that, so let's go and do that. I'm sorry, I'm all over the place, guys, today. I'm psyched. It's been a long week, late nights helping the Discord over at GND, so I've got a lot on my mind here. Haven't made a lot of videos. Been working with the Cryptos R Us. Shout out to George and the team. Honored to be presenting DeFi over there every Friday night, 8:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. And go check that out if you haven't, guys. If you're following me, please go watch over on George's channel or the crew or Cryptos R Us channel. What was I going to look up? I was going to look up Trader Joe. Let's see what Trader Joe says for their TVL, because actually, yeah, 89 million. So that's just wow. That's all over the so they do have some BSC. So they're probably just calculating. How are they calculating all this? Because this is super high. Let's take out borrowed. Well, it doesn't make a huge difference, does it? So we've got all these different metrics that they're tracking on DeFi Llama. I'm not sure. I'd have to look into more detail outside of this video to tell you where everybody is in place. But it's cool to see that that Ramsey's is doing well, Trader Joe's doing well, Camelot's doing well. All these different VE33s and liquidity providers. I can't wait to see GND on this list, guys, and see how the token does. So with that, I'm going to end this this mind dump, if you will, today. Thank you so much. Please put some questions in the comments. I'm here to answer anything you have. If none of this made sense, I hope that you can follow along with some of my other videos that were less technical and more interesting to you. But like, subscribe, hit the notification bell for more content just like this, and God bless.